Hey guys, it's ViewMasters Reaction, and we're back with the second half of the origin for some scenes from Campaign 1, The Legend of Vox Machina. Now, in the first half, we got a bunch of scenes that were slightly different, mostly dealing with Percy. The first scene was dealing with Percy, but Percy wasn't even there. The character and the guy, Tal'dorei, that plays him, is that accurate if they're a voiceover? Like, if you do a voice of somebody, do you play them? Because technically, yes, you're doing the voice, but are you playing them? I don't know. This is what goes through my head. I'm asking because I'm curious what your opinion is. I don't know what relevance that has to anything, but he wasn't there, and they all discussed what the hell was going on with Percy, why he was like, your soul is now forfeit. Marisha kept saying your soul is now forfeit. Did he say that? I'm pretty sure he just said your soul is forfeit. At least in the animation he did. Now I kind of want to go back and see what I reacted to last week to see exactly what he worded, because now I feel like he might have used different wording. I don't know. All I know is they had the same reaction as me. Whoa, that was deep and crazy, and obviously it's all about the character, but to get that deep and that serious, I mean, that's kind of the point of the game. But when you have people that invested in the game, it makes it that much greater. I would want to play with the most involved, most over-the-top people, because if I'm going to invest my time and my passion, I want other passionate people to be involved. So I love what's going on. And Liam gave that whole speech in one of the other ones we saw to his sister when he thought he was like down for the count when he got bit by Silas. I love the passion. Matt Mercer beyond anybody, but he gets more talking ability because he's allowed to do whatever and say whatever and be 100 different people. I am going to jump into this, though. I did see that the first part of this half is based on something that wasn't in the show, but something that they wanted to add, they meaning Dayart. They are posting these videos and then I'm reacting to them because it is exactly what I said I wanted somebody to do. I wanted to be able to react to something in the campaign without having the campaign spoiled. And being as I've never seen Campaign 1, I have to have somebody that is willing to do this so I can know what will and will not spoil me. And Dayart, I thank you. I do put the original video in the description. Honestly, it's the easiest way for me to know the comparisons to Campaign 1, being as I'm trying to dive into Critical Role as deep as I can, and it helps me not have spoilers. So we're going to read this and then we're going to react to it and we'll talk after. You guys want to see more of what I do? Full unedited reactions, all the shows on the channel, seasons ahead of what you're seeing, and hundreds of exclusives you'll only see on Patreon. The link is at the end. If not, here we go. Second half of the origin scenes for Vox Machina episode 4. This next part is not in the series. I don't know if they'll reference it later on or show it because it's very fun, but for now they skipped it. It's in episode 26. That was the episode we watched from the last episode 3 campaign watch-along thing. I think all critters deserve to see this because it's hilariously beautiful D&D moment. Context, Percy is in his workshop and the rest of Vox Machina goes to help some farmers who say that a big bird is taking their cows.
I've heard that those giant birds are attracted to red-headed 19-year-old scruffy chin folk with crossbows.
Make an intimidation check.
Take an intimidation check.
I don't want to be here then. You guys can keep an eye out. I gotta go, and just kind of unloads the bolt in the crossbow, slings it up under his arm.
Wait, before you leave, I'm sorry. I have an itch, and it can only be scratched with a cowbell. Do you have a cowbell anywhere
What is
around?
happening?
Do you need more cowbell? I just need a cowbell. It will sit.
More cowbell? Are they doing the more cowbell
Can
thing?
I borrow a cowbell from you?
Your kid's weird. And he keeps walking.
Your kid is weird.
Tell people
Your kid is weird.
Great. It will help the ruse. Here's my plan.
Okay.
We're all cows. Is that an okay plan?
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of into this plan.
All right, I
But
guess.
doesn't that essentially make us the bait?
Yes.
Why?
we're all
Because
in
he's
bait. You can-
illusionist?
I can turn us all into cows.
Yes, because he's an illusionist. I was like, what? And then I'm like, ah.
Cow or no, Keyleth?
What
Give us
thing?
your answer.
Oh, I'm a cow.
What thing?
Semen.
I love it. As soon as he started saying it, I'm like, I think I know where he's going. We seen Scanlan manipulate the minds.
Except for me, who's going
If it's
to
polymorph,
be
I
an
couldn't
actual
cast.
cow.
Illusion around people only change how they look. A disguise, but yeah.
Just embrace it.
It can be an array
Look like
of
super-
very
Array of different cows.
strangely sized cows.
Super juicy cows.
Scanlan, why don't you be like a cow?
Oh, so they have to. I get it. So you have to be like comparative in size.
Yeah.
Gather close to me. goes.
Okay.
We want to get
30
we want to get in the
30-foot
pen
radius.
first, right?
Yes, let's go in the pen.
Yeah, okay,
And
let's all get
if
in
I
with the
may,
cast.
I'm going to wear the cowbell.
You've earned it.
If I may.
So they're all.
If we use seeming, we just appear to be cows.
Correct.
Well, we can see
But
each other.
we can still speak, right?
Yeah.
We'll be talking cows.
Just anything sees you as cows
Would be like, holy shit, those are talking
of
cows.
strange size. Yeah.
It's camouflage.
I love how Matt camouflage. Matt looks like no, not in my house. Look at Matt's face. Look, he's even doing the head shake.
Let's be cows.
No,
I
not
have
in
to
my
give you
house, sir.
experience. for
Camouflage. All right. I love though that Matt is making it a
around,
point to say yes, but
nose,
you're of a
and
very
the one with
unusual
the-
size.
Around his neck.
It's like the brothels, eh?
You complete the spell, and with a sudden whoosh of cold night air, your vision blurs, and you kind of blink for a second and look around. And Vox Machina is now instead an array of slightly smaller than average cows.
Oh wait, no.
You are, by the way, you're more of a calf.
I was gonna say Sam's got to even be smaller. Like if they're small cows, Scalen's got to be a smaller small
I
cow.
cast speak with animals.
This is the best Vox Machina adventure ever.
I kind of knew where Sam was going, but that is a great
Hello,
thought.
ladies. Good evening.
So now we could get risked. We're bait. Marisha said it. We're bait.
Correct?
You hear a response. What are you doing? We're trying to sleep.
Cows? Have you seen a giant bird flying around anyone?
At which point all the cows kind of like start shutting around like,
Is it really a giant bird?
Yes,
Is it
yes,
like a
haven't you?
dragon again?
they keep taking us. Why do you think we're hiding under this?
Oh, sure.
Careful, if you stay out there, it'll see you.
Right. Oh, if you say where exactly? Where? Have they been? Okay.
What's up?
Damn, cows. This never goes well. Can you tell?
And Keyleth can talk to the cows because she can talk to the animals.
I'll get back to you. 1 second. Can you tell me anything about what it looks like?
I saw in the comments it's saying, is it a rock? And I thought the same thing.
Big red
ROC? Rock? I thought the same thing whenever there's like a
Fascinating.
giant bird in
Does it seem
RPGs
to
and
come
stuff.
At a certain time of night.
There you go.
The dark time.
It's a cow. It's a cow. This is the same as before. It's a
Because
cow.
nothing is happening, I am now trying to eat grass.
I for once.
So you bend down. And
I can't believe Grog hasn't earlier
Eating
started
grass.
doing that.
Like cows.
I for once.
Grog would probably
decided
fit right
to
in.
Shit on the floor.
Oh my god.
Seems totally normal.
We are in it, baby.
I
Cows, I
would totally
forgot
believe
the
that
fucking
as well.
cows
I mean, all this makes sense in my mind.
Moo, I'm letting you guys fucking know there's a thing in the sky.
And it gets bigger and bigger, and
My
you realize
cow
at
is
this
going
point it was
stealth.
further away. Roll for cow stealth.
23.
Okay,
I kind of.
you're still a cow. Okay.
Make myself look available.
I love that they're just going with this cow thing
Away from the
for
rest of the
a
herd.
long time at this point.
I go into a cow rage and start chewing faster.
That's his
like
cow
to
rage.
chew.
Did you waste something?
I-
Cow raging?
It takes right back up into the air, clutching Keyleth within its talons. It now comes to Scanlan's turn.
Okay, a dimension door,
What's the range and dimension door?
500 feet.
Oh,
And appear where?
500 feet.
On it, on its back.
Okay.
That's a distance, man. It's
Appear
a
right
good
on
third
its
of a
back.
football field.
You immediately land and start sliding back as the wind is pushing on you. And the feathers themselves, and due to the aerodynamic nature of its flight path, it's a lot of wind resistance against you.
Acrobatics check.
You manage to you tumble backward a little bit, you grab a couple of feathers and get yourself just on the side underneath where the wing meets the part of the upper torso, where the wind resistance is the least amount, and you manage to hold on.
Oh yeah,
You're now
look at
clutching the
that.
back of this giant bird.
Okay.
That's your turn.
Okay. As my bonus action,
Okay.
I will inspire Keyleth. The way you kick so much ass like nobody else. The way you
Scanlan!
do animal things gets
What is
me
that?
overwhelmed. You don't know.
You don't know you're beautiful. You don't know you're powerful. Who? I don't know. I know that on the radio. I don't know these bands. I just know them from the radio.
It's too loud around it. But however, you do take a D10 inspiration dice.
I ride in
For the record,
trucks
this
for
currently right now
hours a
looks
day.
like
That's my
you see
job,
the
guys.
cow,
I
like,
drive in
below,
trucks
and
for
currently
hours a
there's
day, so I know all these songs from the radio.
Oh, yeah, it lasts 8 hours. So.
Singing Tiny Cow.
Oh my god.
How is a tiny cow? I mean, I know they're talking about it, but he's.
Fly on all of us. Fly, you fools! Fly, you fools! Fly! And go right after him.
All right. All of you guys, at that point, you see Tiberius, and you all take off
I
after.
hope we don't get in trouble.
Oh my god, I paused just
cows
because I've
take off
never
the
hear that guy talk. Orion.
Fly, Vox Machina, move!
Vox Machina.
A squadron of
Mukia.
Weirdly-sized flying cows lit by moonlight chasing after a
It's the
giant bird.
Amblin logo, except for cows.
I love Dungeons and Dragons.
How does it end?
I cast polymorph on it.
Oh, shit.
Out of thematic reasons, I also
Changes a
turned it
creature into a
cow.
beast of your choosing. I knew what polymorph was from video games.
That's amazing. It's what she cries out heroically.
But
No!
Okay. Rolled one.
I'm a cow on a cow. With a
oh my god, a cow on a cow.
Bird.
But now are you all?
It just
Yeah.
begins to plummet at
Yeah.
extremely fast speed.
Yo, I heard you like cows, so I gave you some cow with your cow.
This is
I go
flailing
eagle
cows.
form.
You go eagle form.
Oh, so now she'll be the flight.
Will become a pterodactyl.
We got pterodactyl.
My god, how long did this one go on? Because I almost feel like half this episode would have been them doing that.
But you guys are both now transformed into an eagle and a pterodactyl,
But we look
but
like
you
cows.
still look like cows.
As the twins are flying, say, hey, did you notice we have the same pattern? Twins!
Oh my god.
About this time,
This
you
is
hear,
utterly ridiculous.
you hear
Yeah, everything is just. He's now acknowledged how far this has
gonna
gone.
approach gliding cows. just drifting
Why are they
through the night
cows? Why are they an eagle and a pterodactyl that still look like a cow? Wouldn't they have turned? They discover that the giant bird is a rock.
sky. A voice rings out against the darkness. Flying cows? Really? I care not for this insolence. If you've come to mock me or fight me, do it now. Or leave this creature alone.
I yell out, you've been stealing the farmer's livestock. Give us a reason not to kill you.
Your
Fair.
nature confuses me and your words seem ill-informed. If you're not going to come to speak of discourse, I'm going to assume that you're my enemy.
For my cloak?
Yes.
A cow in a cloak.
You are a flying cow in the moonlight against an individual that is very aware of your presence. So
Shut up, baby, I know it. Yeah, 31.
Stealthily cow your way up to the side of this precipice, seemingly unnoticed.
The guy was a gnome who was taking care of the rock. After discussing with him for a while, they convinced him to go with the rock somewhere else. Vesselheim, it's quite far away. All right.
Walk out from behind him and just walk past. Sorry about that.
Vex was hidden during the entire negotiations. Oh, that's it. That's it for now. I really wanted to show you this. Every critter deserves to know all the time when Vox Machina were all flying cows. Amazing, guys. So that whole last part, the second half of what I just did, this whole episode basically was based off of something that wasn't even in the show. But earlier in the first half of episode 4, in the beginning of that episode, they explained how this is where the group was when Percy was in the workshop doing the thing in the earlier part. So when Percy was by himself at the end of the last episode, this is where the crew was, and then the crew rendezvoused back. But holy crap, I totally understand why they wanted to put this in a episode, because it kind of makes sense. If it's not going to be in the show, they're going to skip over it, then you want people to enjoy the really elaborate, crazy things they did during the campaign. So I would have to agree. If they didn't show this, it's hilariously funny and awesome and everything else, but they said in many interviews and things like that, there is 400 to 500 hours of usable content. They can't put everything in. So I have to assume, as funny as this is, there were 12 episodes worth of funnier, better things that kind of revolve around the story more. I could totally see why they cut this out, because as funny as it is, they'd have to make like a spin-off show or like a bloopers episode reel or something like that, because this really wouldn't make sense in an episode, even though it's hilariously funny and I love it, and I love where they went with it, using their abilities where they went with it, and we'll talk about that in a second. But it just wouldn't make sense in the overlying plot of where they're going with the story. And it's also a very violent adult type animation. And even though this would be hilariously funny, it's kind of out of the realm of, I feel like, where they're going with the show. But I thought it was great. I loved every second of it. I wish they did have the time to do everything. And I feel like at some point they might dip into things like this, like go back and actually show like a filler episode, so to speak, and show something like this, like what went on when this happened. I don't know if it would fit in the timeline of the animation, because I forget exactly how it went down there. But either way, it would be great to see things like this, and I have such high hopes. Knowing things like this happen early on in Campaign 1, I have extremely high hopes for other things to come. Put it this way, if things are excluded and they're that good and people remember them to the point where people like Dayart put things like this up just for the appreciation of the fandom, I have to assume that there is so many better things coming that they would have included, because why wouldn't they put the best things in their show? But let's talk about what happened real quick. So Sam decides, we have to figure out what is taking these cows, farmers' cows. So he decides, let's just use my abilities. We'll make an illusion and I'll make us all look like cows. That's why I just figured out myself. Okay, I answered my own question. I was about to say, how come at the end they were eagles and pterodactyls, or at least Keyleth and Scanlan, yet they looked like cows? I'm like, I don't understand that. Wouldn't they just be what they are? I just answered my own question. Scanlan used the illusion of them being cows. So it doesn't matter what the heck they are. In form, everyone's going to see them as cows. Totally get it now. I am an idiot. In my head, I'm thinking so far beyond everything that I'm not thinking of the basic obvious answer. I had to do it in my mind to figure it out. I am a fool. I apologize. We then attach ourselves onto the giant bird, the rock, and then we all just like start going after this bird, and we're all riding or following this bird. I mean, everything got freaking nuts at that point. Grog is eating grass. Everyone's cows. Liam's saying all these ridiculous jokes like, look, we match because we're twins. Our spots are the same. Ha ha ha. Gesturing to gnome people, because at the end there, we end up going down because they turn the bird into another cow, and then we plummet to the ground, but we're all saved because Keyleth and Scanlan turn into an eagle and a pterodactyl. And then we meet this gnome guy who watches the rock, and then they send it away, and it goes to Vesselheim, and that's the end of that. But hilarious, awesome stuff. I'm going to jump in to episode 5. I don't know if it's broken into things like this. Maybe the episode 5 video is broken in half too, where half is things that happen and half is things like this that are just hilarious things they skipped. I don't know. We won't know until we jump in. You guys want to see more of what I do? Full on edited reactions of this and other shows I do. If you're seeing this on YouTube, we are seasons ahead on most of the shows and hundreds of exclusives you'll only see on Patreon. Link in front. If not, comments down below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.